China just dropped data that NASA has been hiding for months. And what it reveals about the object known as 3I/Atlas will change everything you thought you knew about space, about truth, and about what's really heading toward Earth. Because this isn't just another comet. This moves with purpose. Propulsion burns. Controlled navigation. Course corrections. Signals. Not random. Not natural. Not supposed to happen. NASA calls it a passing interstellar visitor. China calls it something else entirely, a machine. While NASA's public statements paint Atlas as a harmless ice rock gliding through the void, China's National Space Administration just dropped what might be the biggest data leak in space history. And their evidence shows Atlas doing things that comets simply cannot do. The slowing down on command, speeding up, changing direction, sending electromagnetic transmissions that look engineered. This isn't wild theory. This is hard telemetry, real data from orbital tracking systems that don't lie. Atlas is maneuvering, it's communicating, and it's getting closer. According to the Chinese data, Atlas has performed 17 separate course corrections in just 2 weeks. Each one precisely timed. Each one deliberate. These aren't gravitational drifts, these are engine burns. NASA knows this. They've seen the same maneuvers. But instead of telling you the truth, they've chosen silence. They keep releasing comm statements. No danger, natural comet, routine observation. But their classified logs tell a completely different story. Because when China's telescopes locked onto Atlas, they didn't just see motion, they saw control. In one documented event, Atlas slowed down by 5,000 miles per hour over 12 hours. Then, 3 days later, it accelerated right back. That's not physics. That's propulsion. An orbital mechanics specialist who reviewed the data said it plainly. When you see changes like this, specific acceleration profiles, you're not watching nature. You're watching technology. Atlas isn't drifting. It's navigating. China's deep space tracking network captured sideways thrusts, lateral adjustments that require vector engines. Exactly what spacecraft use when fine-tuning their approach. And here's the chilling part. Those 17 corrections, they form a path, leading not away from us, but toward Earth. Then there's the radio data. For weeks, China's massive radio telescopes have been listening. And what they've recorded is unlike anything ever picked up from deep space. At first, the signals looked like noise, random bursts, but once decoded, they revealed structured patterns, data packets, header sequences, error correction codes. That's not a comet talking. That's communication. And it gets stranger. The transmissions adapt. When solar radiation spikes, the frequencies shift to avoid interference. When Atlas moves behind the sun, the signal power increases to compensate. It's reacting to the environment. That's not automation. That's intelligence. Then came the images. China's high-resolution orbital telescopes captured Atlas from multiple angles, building a full 3D model of its surface. And what they found shocked the entire astronomical community. Geometric patterns, perfect grids, rectangular structures, 50 meters wide, arranged in rows. A planetary geologist who studied the data said, "These aren't random. Nature doesn't make right angles in space. Some parts of Atlas are reflective, mirror-like. Others are matte, dark, almost stealth black. The boundaries are too sharp, too clean. This isn't erosion. This is design." Thermal scans showed something even more disturbing. Certain regions are hotter than solar heating can explain, as if there's internal energy power systems operating beneath the surface. The heat even pulses, every 4.7 hours. Exactly. Over and over again, like a machine cycling through a program. Something inside Atlas is alive, or running, or both. China's spectroscopy team ran compositional analysis, and the results don't match any known comet or asteroid. Titanium alloys, vanadium, rare earth elements in complex patterns that can only exist through manufacturing. These are engineered materials, refined, combined, impossible to form naturally. Someone or something built Atlas, But the most terrifying revelation isn't what Atlas is made of. It's where it's going. NASA's official charts show it passing by, looping around the sun, and heading back to deep space. That's the story you're meant to believe. But China's tracking data shows something else. Atlas has changed course multiple times, enough to completely rewrite its path through the solar system. It's not leaving, it's staying. An aerospace analyst reviewing the data said, "This isn't a comet on a flyby. This is a craft executing a mission." China's projections now show Atlas passing within 3 million miles of Earth. That's less than 13 times the distance to the moon. Close enough to be seen, close enough to interact. But here's the twist. The approach vector makes it nearly impossible to track from most ground telescopes. It's coming in from an angle where only space-based systems or a few observatories can see it clearly. A military analyst called it strategic positioning. If you wanted to approach Earth while avoiding most detection, this is exactly the path you'd choose. Coincidence or intention? Atlas has already flown near Mars, capturing data as it passed. Now its movement suggests a similar flyby pattern, this time around Earth. Each maneuver mirrors reconnaissance paths used by human probes. It's observing, scanning, preparing, and here's the unnerving possibility. Some of China's trajectory models show Atlas not escaping, but entering Earth's orbit. With the thrust it's demonstrated, it could park itself above us and stay there indefinitely. Then came the moment that silenced the control room. When China sent a test signal toward Atlas, it responded. Its next broadcast contained fragments, mathematical sequences China had just transmitted. It was listening. It was learning. This isn't random noise bouncing through space. This is conversation. The transmissions evolved from simple math patterns to what some analysts now believe are encoded images. Star charts, schematics, maybe even maps. The deeper the analysts looked, the clearer it became. Atlas isn't just broadcasting, it's reaching out, trying to make contact. Everything NASA told you might be a lie. Everything China just revealed points to one terrifying truth. Atlas isn't a comet. It isn't an asteroid. It's a visitor, equipped with propulsion, intelligence, purpose, and its destination is Earth. So the question isn't what Atlas is. The question is, what happens when it arrives? Some of Atlas's transmissions aren't just random bursts into the void. They're targeted, directed toward Earth. And not just Earth in general, but specific coordinates, population centers, mountain ranges, and most disturbingly, the exact locations of our largest radio telescopes. It knows where we listen. It knows where we watch. China's new data shows focused transmissions, narrow, deliberate beams, aimed straight at facilities like FAST in China, the Allen Telescope Array in the US, and Parkes in Australia. Not random, not accidental, these are precise shots. It's as if Atlas has mapped our planet, as if it knows where to find us, whether it detected our electromagnetic noise, or it had a map long before arriving. It's clear, it's trying to make contact. And every day, the beams grow stronger. Now the question everyone's asking, why is NASA so silent? China's release has cornered NASA completely. The evidence is global. The proof is undeniable. When another major space agency directly contradicts your narrative, you respond. You release counterdata, hold a press conference, address the findings. But NASA? Nothing. No papers. No explanations. No denials. Just silence. A former NASA communications officer put it bluntly. They're not denying it because they can't. Their classified data likely matches China's findings. So instead of lying, they stay quiet. And that silence is strategy. But silence comes with a price. Each day NASA says nothing, more of the world starts believing China. Russia already issued a statement backing the Chinese data. India confirmed similar readings. Even European scientists are breaking ranks, quietly saying, yes, we've seen the same thing. It's no longer a debate. It's a global divide. Half the world believes we're facing first contact. The other half hides behind no comment. But this isn't just a scientific argument anymore. It's becoming a race. If Atlas is technology, real, functional, advanced, then whoever reaches it first gains access to something that could change civilization. Propulsion beyond human design, materials beyond human science, communications beyond human comprehension. That's not curiosity, that's strategic power. And now every nation is quietly mobilizing. India expanding tracking networks, Australia coordinating Southern Hemisphere telescopes, Europe holding secret summits, even small nations deploying radar, upgrading sensors, forming coalitions. The space race is back. Only this time, it's not about reaching the moon. It's about reaching whatever Atlas is. And as governments prepare, religion steps in. The Vatican issued a rare statement. If intelligent life exists, it does not contradict faith. Islamic scholars are debating whether alien beings possess souls. Buddhist leaders calmly remind the world, our texts already speak of life beyond this realm. The world is bracing, philosophically, spiritually, militarily. Even the United Nations has convened emergency sessions, asking one impossible question. If an object from another civilization enters our orbit, who speaks for Earth? But not every preparation is peaceful. Behind the compress releases, defense grids are shifting, missile systems recalibrated, surveillance satellites retasked. Space command divisions are running routine exercises at record frequency. Governments are saying nothing, but they're getting ready for something. One defense analyst summed it up. Nations aren't waiting for confirmation. They're preparing for contact or conflict. And you can see it in the markets. Defense stocks climbing, private space companies soaring, investors quietly pouring billions into propulsion tech, sensors, AI-driven tracking. Something big is coming, and those who know are betting everything. Take all the data together, China's telemetry, Russia's confirmation, Europe's leaks, and a single terrifying picture forms. Atlas is not natural. It's not a comet. It's not a coincidence. It's artificial. A machine. A vessel. A visitor. It moves with purpose, communicates with precision, and its trajectory, bringing it straight toward us. This is not discovery anymore. This is encounter. Every expert now asks the same question. What does Atlas want? Is it an observer? A diplomat? A scout? Or something we can't even comprehend? A xenologist studying the phenomenon said it best. Interpreting Atlas might be like an ant trying to decode a supercomputer. We don't share logic. We don't share time. We don't share fear. That's what makes this moment so dangerous. We assume it thinks like us. But what if it doesn't? China's latest data projects the closest approach in 4 to 6 weeks. That's when Atlas will make its move. Whatever it's been doing, surveying, scanning, preparing, it's almost complete. NASA still says nothing, but the silence feels less like ignorance and more like delay. Every day, new data leaks. Every day, new nations confirm what they're seeing. Every day, the truth gets harder to hide. First, it moved. Then it spoke. Now it's coming. We're entering the final phase. The moment humanity meets the unknown. China says prepare. NASA says nothing. And somewhere between those two voices, the truth waits. So what do you believe? Is China warning the world? Or pushing fear to seize control of the narrative? Is NASA protecting us from chaos? Or protecting itself from exposure? When Atlas reaches Earth's window, the world will finally know who was right and who was lying. Drop your thoughts below. What do you think Atlas really is? Observer, messenger, or something we're not ready to face? Make sure you're subscribed and turn on notifications, because when Atlas makes its move, you'll want to be the first to know. The countdown has begun. The truth about Atlas is coming.